So now a survival is again a challenge because nothing is permanent. Every stage you'll come across certain skills that you don't have and your profile wants it. Learning is an ongoing process. You have to learn all your life to be competent enough. In today's era, you have no money, it's fine, but you need to have a network. I made a statement that if you're a good teacher, I'm the best student. Though you don't have those skill set or a degree for that matter, why don't you try, because you may succeed.
Hi, welcome to another episode of IndoXChange, where we discuss the ins and outs of AEC industry. Today, we have our guest, Ms. Swati More, who is currently a lady representative at Maharashtra Association of Training and Placement Officer. Firstly, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome to our podcast. And ma'am, before we start, I really want you to, tell our audience about yourself and, give them a bit insight about how your journey has been so far.
All right. First of all, thank you for having me here.
Welcome,
it's a wonderful morning and your office is very pleasant. So
thank you.
Before we start our podcast, I would like to formally introduce myself. I'm Professor Swati More. I'm currently working as a Director, Corporate Relations and Training Placement at MIT EDT University, which is Art, Design and Technology University. It's a new age university wherein you'll find a combination of art, design and technology, which are the most demanded fields. You name the course, it is available with us. I have total 25 years of experience, wherein 17 years I worked in corporate in different domains. I am an engineer, I'm an electronics and telecommunication engineer, and then I did my human resources from Pune University. And after working 17 odd years in corporate, I've decided to shift into the education field for having a reason that I wanted to pursue my PhD. And that brought me my experience of engineering, HR, training. And that is the reason I was put into the placement, so that I can guide the youngsters and help them get into good companies, upskill their knowledge and ensure that they become our brand ambassadors do well. So
all right, ma'am. So, ma'am, firstly, thank you so much for that warm introduction to our audience. Ma'am, the overarching theme for our discussion today would be women in engineering and construction industry. It's one of the most debated topics so far.
Certainly.
Or so much discussed topic. Now, the numbers that are currently available or that are being projected in the market are around 27% women contribute to engineering and construction field. It might be because of many reasons, probably inflexible working hours, working conditions,
True.
lack of mentorship or lack of opportunity, right, ma'am? But or there could have been many that I would have missed out. So, ma'am, what are your opinions on the above statistics that I just mentioned and discussed with you?
I mean, definitely this statistic is not very encouraging. I mean, though there is improvement, I must say that there has been a lot of buzzword around inclusion, women diversity at workplace, and a lot of initiatives have been taken by the AEC industry. But still we're lacking in achieving that ratio of maybe a 50% and I mean efforts have been taken by the companies, but I still feel that the intention or the kind of work the industry should do is still they're lacking somewhere. All right, so when I say 27%, still everyone there has been a major shift from when I passed on today. A lot of opportunities are there for the women in terms of education, mentorship. Seeking a mentorship is very important, but it is all because of the mindset. Stereotypes. There are barriers for the women which stop them from getting into this industry. I agree. That is something that we really need to look at, and we have to create more positive environment wherein women feel
comfortable and they want to be a part of this
industry. There are a lot of myths around this, female should not go into this industry because this is more of a men dominated industry.
I agree, ma'am. I mean, it has been observed as well, and the numbers also speak the same.
Right.
In fact, ma'am, have there been any recent shifts in perspective of about I'm saying gender diversity in work environment in engineering and civil industry specifically that you would have noticed?
Definitely, there has been a positive shift. I mean, there are more courses available. There are some educational, women-centric courses also, designated and defined by the new age universities like us, wherein the knowledge has been spread in the industry. A lot of people are getting to know these kinds of courses. So when I say that there was a lack, but now because of the opportunities available, definitely women can do better. Women are born with the natural instinct of having a very strong administrative skill. You put them into anything, they'll be the more disciplined. They will be, you can bring a lot of innovation, creativity with the help of women at work. Yes, there has been a shift and we are working towards it, but still the momentum is little less. So
definitely, ma'am. And with that thought, I mean, my next follow-up aspect would be that since you're into training and placement, right, there would be very unconventional beliefs that you might be having or approaches that you might be holding in regards to advancement of women in these specific fields, right? So do you fully agree that these developments are genuinely happening and they are visible evidently, or do you think these changes are the changes are happening but on their own terms and dictations?
True. I certainly agree with that. Why? Because I'll tell you, people are talking about these terms, but when it comes to actually delivering or bringing women at a decision making
level,
authorities or levels, still people restrict, men restrict, bringing the women at par or at leadership positions, right? So I've seen there are organizations, I've came across an organization, I won't name, but yes, they have, that is giving them a very good result, but their entire leadership team is women, and they are doing fantastic job. So in India it is very much like women at a certain age they have to get married, have kids, and that is what called as a settling down. But nobody to settling down. I myself was married, I have 2 kids, but then I'm still able to manage the work-life balance between the home and my career aspirations. But when it comes to giving the pay, even women are not coming forward, they are not negotiating, they are not asking, or nor they are allowed to come to the table and add a value in decision making process. So still we really need to work upon and allowing women to be a part of leadership team.
Agreed, ma'am. I mean, I have seen myself, definitely for the YouTube policy perspective, I can't take the names of the companies, but there are many companies who are bringing women up and empowering them, to their best potential. And there are companies where there are cultures where they don't appreciate women. So, mentioned, ma'am. So, ma'am, I am 100% sure that there might be something that you believe, but you're not able to convince. For example, you might be having a lot of female students coming in, right? And convincing them to join a field like mechanical engineering or civil engineering. What are the challenges that you face, or something that you could tell our audience and us that that could be really interesting for us to know, ma'am?
Surely. I mean, when now the admission process is going on and we encourage a lot of women to come into the AEC industry. So first thing they come is, computer science is better for us, because the message has gone into the community that, okay, for female, the safest environment is to get into this kind of courses. But believe me, mechanical is a very blooming field. Construction is a very blooming field. And being a natural innovators or creators, women should bring, there are some barriers, there are some stereotypes which they are not able to break. So we ensure that a lot of companies, they come to hire people in this, because diversity is a buzzword in the market currently.
It is a buzzword more than a practical word of more than implementing it. It's a buzzword for every company to post it on their social media.
Right. So they're showing that we are working toward diversity. We want female students, but then are you ensuring that you have taken a sufficient efforts in enrolling the female student? Are you coming with some sponsorship kind of initiatives wherein female student, if they take admission in mechanical, construction or architecture for that matter, and they get some kind of career guarantee for that matter. Plus the parents nowadays are very, very finicky about not putting the daughters being, they feel they are delicate enough to not to work in this kind of work. They don't want to put them onto the shop floor. No, nothing of that sort. There are some very, very white collar jobs in mechanical and construction industry. But I personally feel that they should work on the floor too. Because when you start from a scratch, then only you'll be able to become a leader over the period of time.
I agree with you, ma'am. I mean, starting from the scratch is one of the aspects.
Right.
And yes, ma'am, I do agree. A lot of parents do refrain from the aspects. But ma'am, there are societal, challenges from the perspective of society that these parents might be also facing because of
it's just the mindset. I'm saying that, like when way back, I'm the first engineer in my family. So a lot of people objected me getting into the engineering, me coming out of house and staying in hostel. There were so many statements made to me, roadblocks that made to my father, but he was very clear. His vision was clear. So nowadays parents should be, first of all, the information should be available. What are the career growths, how they can reach to the pinnacle of their success by entering to this field, because computer science is very common nowadays. But if a girl makes something unique in the civil industry or the construction industry, definitely she'll be a very well-known face. Something different you're doing.
Absolutely.
And when you do something different from the conventional road, you get acknowledged for that.
Yes,
so creating some benchmark for your next generation is very important, and I request a lot of current generation female student that you should enroll yourself in this kind of courses to ensure that we value add to our nation's growth by entering yourself into this AEC industry.
Agreed, ma'am. I mean, those are very wise words. And, with that, I have a very straightforward question here. Like, you would be looking back to your younger self. So these kids that are coming in or enrolling in are somewhat like your younger self, right?
Right.
So is this something that you would want to go back in time and advise yourself, which would correlate with these, young audience that is actually watching you, ma'am?
All right. So to talk about the question which you asked, like, if I have to advise my younger self or the younger generation currently, first thing, all women need to believe in themselves. Like, they need to trust their instinct. They have to believe their goals that they have set for themselves. There are going to be setbacks. Setbacks is a natural process, and they have to, really be mentally prepared for it. They have to seek mentorship from both male and female mentors. They need to have, in today's era, the most important, even if you have no money, it's fine, but you need to have a network. Having a strong network can sell you through a lot of challenges that you'll come across during your career lifespan. So having a mentorship, having a network, it's very, very important. You have to skill yourself. You have to advocate yourself to be competent enough to adapt the change. You have to be receptive to the changing environments of the market. Like, you have to skill, you have to, keep updated yourself. That is very important. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive. So now a survival is again a challenge, because nothing is permanent. You have to, every stage, you'll come across certain skills that you don't have, and your profile wants it. So you have to skill yourself, you have to seek advice, you have to be updated, you have to attend a lot of events, a lot of conferences, workshops, seminars, so that you are well aware of the industry needs, right? And these are some of the factors that you really need to work upon.
I mean, that was very wonderfully summed up, that your setup can be, your setback can be a platform for your comeback.
Certainly.
And then followed by, you should have a lot of relations in the market, which is very important. And ma'am, I think I also believe that throughout so far in my career, I believe that having strong relations not only help you do better in work, but collaboratively work on a problem, which sometimes it's better to take advices with alike minds in the same industry. So yes, ma'am, I agree with you on that. So ma'am, like when we are now looking back at yourself and your now we were discussing on those lines, can you highlight few of your best decisions that gave you a huge trajectory growth in your career? And if you want to mention some setbacks or some kind of problems that you faced, and how did you overcome them for our audience, because it will help the boost morale of all the women who are wanting to explore their career in civil and engineering.
There are many. I mean, my journey has been full of ups and downs, and I have taken so many risky decisions. Like, in certain cases, it was a blessing in disguise. Like, at some time, like, I was so down, so low because of the recession. Recession was one of the things.
Yes.
Second was there were some things which I could not do it.
Right.
However, I tried hard, but I could not perform at all because that was not my domain at all. I was not comfortable. So you need to at times come out of your comfort zone. You have to relearn everything and give your best, right? I mean, you need to accept what you are. You need to accept your strength. You have to be persistent enough to take challenges and improve on your skill set so that you become maybe a top performer. So having a very strong vision, I survived because I had this never to give up attitude. People challenge me like anything. You're a girl. Why do you want to work? Like I worked in sales also. Sales, that time sales was like, considered as one of the not so profile fit women out there. And they said, you're an engineer. Why you want to get into this field? I said, I'll not sit back at home. I'll do something. If there is no technical job, I'll get into something which will give me more knowledge. So none of the profile is something waste or something. You learn. So I made a mind that, learning is an ongoing process. You have to learn all your life to be competent enough. When I made my mind that, okay, I will do this. And I always kept a goal that I have to be top performer. And that gave me an objective to work upon what I'll have to do to be there. Right. So luckily I got very good mentors. One of my mentors said, if you're not good in this project or this is something that you can't do, try this field out.
All right.
Though it is not your comfort zone, though you don't have those skill set or a degree for that matter, why don't you try? Because you may succeed. And I said, okay, let's try. Likewise. So when I gave interview for that particular company, I made one statement which really surprised that person, and he literally took me as an experiment. I made a statement that if you're a good teacher, I'm the best student. Right?
Yes.
So if you want me to perform, you just tell me how to do that. I'll deliver. I'll deliver and I'll come out with the flying color, and I'll be the most valued asset to your organization. And when I made this statement, it kicked him. Okay, she's, kind of challenging me.
Yeah, I mean, it would kick anybody. I mean, someone saying you like, just blunt on your, or just on your looking into eyes, and someone is saying you that, yes, I would.
True. And it was all from nowhere, and I
would be taken aback as well. So I mean, wow.
And he said, okay, let's see, let's try. And you won't believe, I was not only the regional, I was the national performer, and I got a lot of accolades for that. I got incentives, a national award, performer of the year, and constantly. See, success is not temporary. When you perform, I worked in various domains, from engineering to HR to training to sales and marketing, branding. You name the profile. I've worked because I wanted to challenge myself. Yes. I wanted to learn everything. To tomorrow, if any organization put me into anything, I'm very sure I'll perform. Yeah, and the main reason why I could success, because I came out of my comfort zone. I kept challenging myself. Why can't I? Whenever people make a statement that you can't do this, it gives me kick. I said, I'll show you how to perform there.
Ma'am, I would mutually agree here, because I started my career in sales, right? So yes, I do agree that sales, you would also agree, ma'am, sales would teach you perseverance,
right?
Being persuasive, being adaptive.
True.
And being in your client's best interest. So if you, and definitely your communication skills are very important, and you will learn relationship building exercises. And ma'am, I mean, with all these things considered together, I think there's no perfect recipe for a good salesman, but then definitely these all skills that you would have inculcated are currently helping you. And I mean, it helps me as well every now and then. True. So ma'am, with that said and done, like, I mean, I'm like, personally so glad to know that you have experienced so much different kind of so many different kind of experiences in your career that you have experienced, and with that comes up your thought process that you want to be expressive about your opinions in mind, right? And there's a way to put forward, and probably I know the best possible way of putting it forward would be through best possible channel of communications, right?
True.
Now with that said and done, would you want to highlight some of your best advices that you have received in your career so far that has actually benefited you so much that you're still thankful for it?
So yes, certainly. I said I'm very blessed when it comes to receive a mentors. I have had one of the best mentors in the industry.
Right.
The reason why I got, because I reached out to them. Nobody is going to get a dream that you need a help.
Right,
Okay?
ma'am.
You have to be, expressive about it, like you need a help first of all. And I gathered that courage. Okay, I need help and I need to talk to somebody. And that is how I reached to my manager. And because of your YouTube policy, I'm not naming them and all, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've got every organization that I've worked, my bosses, I could do well because they've guided me. They guided me in terms of my professional growth. They we sat back and we planned our goal sets, the personal goal set as well as the professional goal set. When I combine both of them, so one of my mentor, he told me that when you'll have some goal in your life personally which you want to achieve, how you'll achieve? You need money. And where you'll get money from? When you'll have a professional capacity to earn, right? And that too, everybody earns. I don't want you to work just a 9-to-5 job. I want you to, build yourself. You have to add a value, and you reach to a level. The day you will become that skilled that you'll replace me as a boss.
Yeah.
That will be my achievement, that I have given the mentorship and I really replaced him. The moment you'll replace me, I'll grow high.
Yeah.
And that is the best advice he gave me, that the day you'll replace me, I'll feel that I've added value in your life and you're really doing something really great. And that has been my policy also. I always empower my team. So getting a good leader is very important, and I was fortunate enough to get very good leaders, very good mentors. There are many people and they're from all ages. It's not necessary that you get a good advice from elderly people. I have had my younger generation also whom I learned. So being into that sales background, I've developed this ability of
learning,
observing, learning,
and implementing
something positive that I've come across. It could be a student, it could be my colleague, it could be my leadership team.
The habit of not giving up till the end.
Yes. I'm hungry for knowledge. Hungry for knowledge. And that is the attitude the younger self should have. That hunger for learning, hunger for gaining something out of your interaction. Your time is very valuable. And that time that you spend with somebody through networking, there should be value add to your own self.
I agree, ma'am. I mean, when you are hungry for more, you would be wanting to extend your efforts. You would be wanting to learn more, and I mean, it's all about your want to learn. And
True.
So, I mean, I 100% align with you on that, ma'am. So, I mean, I want to ask you a very not a framed but a natural question that is coming into my mind, which is, if you could set up a huge banner, right, anywhere.
True.
As per your choice, number one, what would that place be? And where would you put it? That place, I mean, which place would you want to put it? And what would it say to inspire women in our, community, these engineering and construction industry?
Very interesting question. I mean, I'm just looking at, how I can frame it and how I can put it across. Because when it comes to women, it's very sensitive and very, I look back myself, what all I did. But yes, if I have to advise and I have to make a banner for encouraging women to be in AC industry, I will have a very small statement. Build yourself. Wow. Women belong to AC. And this banner, I will put it across all the AEC conferences, big events, all educational institute, because, spreading a word is very important.
Yep.
By putting this banner in front of all these places will give insights to all the people who are working in the AEC industries, predominantly men, that they have to really do something to, have more women in our field. Secondly, to women themselves, because it's lack of awareness.
Right.
They don't know what is there lying for them, how they can add, how can they perform, and how they can grow in this sector, right? So creating awareness, this is in a very bold font, I am going to put this, right? And ensure that I am always, voicing out very loudly, and whenever they show some kind of low body language, I come up and I say, no. This is something that women are not. If you can deliver a child, you can do anything.
I agree, ma'am. I mean, it's also there in the books. I think delivering a child is one of the most painful aspect a person can experience in his or her life. Ma'am, I mean, what aspect of your work, when we talk about your work or advocacy for women in AEC, like you mentioned, right? Do your peers and colleagues, by peers and colleague I mean immediate peers or extended colleagues, consider it exceptional or a world class?
I mean, exceptional, I do understand, but world class definitely not.
Not, right.
I mean, we have to still reach there. There's a time for it.
Right.
Because acceptance, as I said, is still being into stereotype, being into Indian civilized, you can say, society. They still feel, there are still mindset wherein, people feel that, women, they should work for X years and they, look after the family. And that is something, it's our tradition. And we cannot break the tradition just like that. There has been an improvement, but definitely we do have scope of more improvement, and we are working towards it.
Great, Mama. I mean, thank you for those really straightforward answers. And in fact, when I was having a candid conversation here with you, when you were expressing your thought about putting a banner and that statement of the banner, I want to ask you, our next follow-up question would be, which book is something that resonates to your, thought behind empowering women, or something that you had learned in the past, or anything specific that you read or you want our viewers to go and read, that will motivate them more to, join our AEC industry, and also, spread awareness about women? That book, something, I mean, might not be a book, it might be an article or a blog or something in today's world.
Very, very important question. I mean, nowadays all people are on YouTube or they read some content and all, but believe me, all successful people, they have been built by reading.
Yes,
so you must have listened. I love to listen to all these stalwarts from the industry. So books have played a very important role in shaping their career, and I myself have learned a lot from reading books. Now people don't get time, but there was a time when I was just getting into the industry and trying to build myself. I read so many books which have inspired. Definitely non-fictional, fictionals, there is a lot of buzzword like female, they are interested in reading fictions, but but inspirational books are there available, and all women who are very, very sure that they want to have something of their own, they should I have a 2 recommendation, one book which is Lean In, Work and the Will to Lead. This book is written by Sheryl Sandberg. This book gives a lot of valuable insight and gives you advice for the women who are especially navigating their careers, and they want to address issues like leadership, work-life balance, negotiations. All 3 aspects you get answers by reading this book.
All the 3 important aspects. All 3
very important
for
because
any woman.
Any women.
Right.
I mean, this book has helped me a lot. That's why predominantly I've made a note, and I want to tell all my audience that this book is very important. I'm going to repeat it. Lean In, Women, Work and the Will to Lead. Okay, this book is very, very important by Sheryl Sandberg.
Right.
The second book which personally motivated me a lot, and that has made a lot of meaningful contribution into my life, is Mindset, The New Psychology of Success.
All right.
And this book is by Carol Dweck.
Yes.
The Dweck's research.
Pretty good book.
Dweck's research, we have this myth of fixed mindset versus the growth mindset.
Yes.
So anybody who's having a challenges like in life, they can overcome challenges. They can, achieve success by reading this book. So these 2 books have helped me a lot in achieving my personal success professionally, and even there were so many personal challenges I could have a balance by reading these 2 books. So I personally want to advise these 2 books to my entire audience over here.
Right, ma'am. And in fact, ma'am, just because you mentioned the name of the last book, I also happened to read it. It says it makes you understand a difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, right, ma'am? Right. So a lot of times I have seen and experienced myself that growth mindset is often considered as someone as greedy. So, I mean, how would you address that aspect of, so-called preconceived notion?
True. So if you're not greedy, you will not be able to succeed. Then you will be in your comfort zone. So if somebody says, okay, I have achieved X percentage in my life and I want to stop, that's a personal thing. But I'm a big follower of Shah Rukh Khan. I love him. And I've seen his journey. I mean, he always tells people that you have to be greedy. You cannot stop at one stage.
Yes.
And you have knowledge, you have a skill set, you have a degree, you have ability to perform. So what is stopping you?
Right.
You can deliver, you can become, rather than becoming a mediocre person, if you want to be known after your death also, you should do something unique which will ensure that people remember you after your death too. And this is the only way that you contribute something wherein people remember you lifelong.
Yeah, ma'am. I mean, thank you so much for those insights.
Right.
And ma'am, I mean, I want to, since you have been, giving us so much of insight today, I want to give you one quick, fascinating fact about Indovance, right?
Right.
So, ma'am, there's a highlight about us. When we started working in this industry, I'm talking a lot of years back, we started with 15 to 20% women contributing to our workforce.
Right.
And recently, and when I say recently, that is in December 2023, we were proud to declare that we have 50% ratio of operating between women and men in our company.
Wow.
I mean, I would mention again, like we are operating with 50% men to women ratio as a workforce in our company. And Miss Aditi Gadkari, like she is our CEO, my immediate boss, and one gem of a person that I've met who is a female leader at Indovance, who has started this team of with her own members and is still serving our company as an executive director and CEO. Under her direction, ma'am, the company actively is promoting women empowerment, and to a level where all leadership roles, if you pick up any leadership roles, out of 5 roles, 2 to 3 are women.
Wonderful.
Right? And in traditional male dominated departments like mechanical engineering within our company, we have significant number of female employees now. And by which I mean, it's like we have started something called second inning programs, which provides opportunity to women in our company who are looking to restart their career after a career break, maybe because of marriage or maternity or parenting or additionally. So this is also boosting the ratio of female in our company. Ma'am, what are your thoughts on it?
I must congratulate her and your entire team. I mean, it's just
Thank
fabulous
you so much,
thing to know and most amazing thing to have. Entire, you can say globe is struggling to achieve this number. So I must congratulate your
Thank you so much,
team,
ma'am.
and I would love to meet her, because you see the difference, because the woman is in power.
Yes.
So when she is in power, when she herself is a leader, she can bring a lot to the table.
Yes, ma'am.
And you could achieve this only because of her vision, her passion to have this. So this is the magic of having women in the leadership team.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And now there are government mandates that you need to have this numbers in place, but you could achieve, and I am very, very glad to know, and I would love to meet her and interact how she achieved.
Sure.
But it's just amazing, and I'm sure eventually a lot of other companies in this field will achieve this numbers. So congratulations.
Thank you so much,
for
ma'am,
that.
and for your kind words. So, ma'am, before we wrap up, we want to start. Before we wrap up, we want to start a quick session from now on, which is called myth or a fact.
Right.
So I'll ask you a statement,
Okay.
and you can say it's a myth or a fact. Okay,
Certainly.
and without thinking, it has to be really quick.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Yes.
So my first point is, women face few career advancement opportunities in engineering and construction due to gender biasness.
Fact.
Number 2, AEC workplaces have become more inclusive and supportive of women in recent years.
I would say it's a neutral.
Okay.
It's a neutral.
All
Not
right.
a fact, not a...
All right. So you have a veto power here. So
Yes,
we
yes.
would ask you, we won't force you whether it's a myth or a fact.
Yeah.
All right. Third one. Pretty interesting here. Women lack technical skills required for the role in engineering and architecture within AEC industry.
They don't lack. It's just the awareness is less. So
Alright.
I won't say that there is a lack. It's just there are few opportunities or awareness about the technical skill sets.
Right.
So it's just the mindset which we mentioned during the our
discussions. Great, ma'am. Now, fourth one. Women in AEC often prioritize work-life balance over their career advancement.
Fact. Fact.
And women encounter few workplaces safety hazard in AEC industry compared to that of men.
It's a fact because I have personally gone through this kind of thing, but I would say yes, it's a fact.
All right. Ma'am, women-owned businesses face fewer challenges in ascending contracts and opportunities within AEC sector.
So it's a very tricky question. Why I'll say that, during my career also one colleague of mine made a statement that everything is easy for women.
No, it's
So
not.
it's not. It's
not
more
easy for
anybody.
anybody. It's not easy
So
for anybody.
it's not at all easy to get it. So
Yeah.
there are so many challenges to prove. When you and me will go to a customer, and if when you pitch in and I pitch in, the buying level of yours will be more than me because I'm a woman, and that's a fact. So they do have a lot of myth about women doing better. So you put it the way you want to put it.
No. We'll just put it exactly the way you said it, ma'am. So we're not from media, ma'am.
Now media is all diplomatic.
Yeah. So going ahead, ma'am. AEC industry events and conferences are predominantly attended by men.
Fact. Certainly.
Gender diversity initiatives have had significant impact on reducing gender pay gap in AEC industry.
So yeah, it is again a fact because now because of the the mandate from the government, there have been many initiatives and people are working upon it. So I will say it's a fact.
All right. Ma'am, with that, I think we have come to the end of our episode.
Right.
And I mean, it has been such a wonderful journey discussing this right from the time when I met you to here and ending this episode. I mean, ma'am, thank you so much for coming in and letting our viewers and listeners know more about women and your perspective as a leader in this industry. With that all, I would want to thank all my listeners for staying until now. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episodes of our podcast IndoXChange and continue to explore more topics with us. Until next time, take care. This is your RD, host, signing out, and the guest as well.
Thank you very much for having me.